coming back, to your story. So you were in college, and I think so you already were a prolific blogger back then, right? What was the thing that was basically propelling you to start writing content? That's where you met the co-founders of Rock Content, right?
Yeah, yeah. Very early on my college days, um, I felt like the academia was teaching pretty dated and old stuff, and that didn't excite me as much as I thought it would. So I started researching and studying a lot, consuming a lot of content. So some of the formational stuff that I was reading back then were Paul Graham's essays. I was really studying Richard McManus and the guys on the Web 2.0 movement. And I was fascinated about it. Back then, we used to say Web 2.0 is a new internet where users create content and users are in control. I got simply fascinated about it, and uh, I would very often not go to college, miss a lot of classes and study and start writing. I started a blog called Widgy first. It was a blog about social media widgets and platforms. I was very excited about the promise of open social. It was the first set of social media APIs back then. My co-founder Edmar had a blog on high scalability and big data computing, and my other co-founder Peçanha had a blog on uh, internet trends, marketing trends, and we, we essentially met each other by commenting in each other's blogs, and that's how I got consumed about the idea of writing and publishing, and I made a lot of friends through that.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I think when it comes to not being interested in things that you already realize will not make progress in your life, or you're not intellectually interesting, I think that it's so funny that every interview of this podcast so far, all the entrepreneurs talk about that. They're like, I had a problem at school where I did not have patience to be taught the things that I already knew, that I understood that they were uninteresting to me. And it's something that it's the same thing for me. I was a great student only at the the subjects that I liked. The things that I was like, I'm not interested, so I'll do the bare minimum. uh, and it's funny, how if you think about it, like how all these systems are so outdated. They just continue to kill creativity and domesticate you into just like pasteurizing, I would say, the human spirit in a way that is pretty sad. And and for what we do also, because we are always on the core front of what's happening, because we're also building a lot. It's really difficult to even find courses. I got this question a couple of days ago. Someone was like, hey, I'm looking to do an MBA because um but I wondered what an MBA that was a specialized in venture capital. I was like, I think you got it wrong. There is, I mean, there are a lot of technical aspects of venture, but you can buy 5, 6 books and study those on your own, or there are also online courses just for that. But the business itself, you're only going to learn by doing. It's very much an apprenticeship business, which it correlates the same thing with not just being a good investor, but being a good founder.